Thank you. Along the lines of what she was just talking about, vibration, I'm very much into the vibration. And I'm learning a lot about vibration. And I want to bring that out into the world. And I don't have a question. But I do because I want.
You know the best way to shine a light on vibration is to shine a light on emotion. Because emotion is the best indicator of the balance of vibration. So when you feel really frisky, acknowledge that a lot of energy flowing and no resistance, no blockage of that. When you feel lethargy, not much focus on anything and not much resistance either. But that's the best way to shine a light on it in a way that others can hear it. And you know, it hasn't been that long ago that people were not ready to hear that, and now almost everybody's talking about it. So it's a good time for that. So what do you think all this emotion is about with you?
I've had emotions all my life. I've been familiar with emotions and been pushed down with my emotions. Don't share them.
Because you've been sensitive to energy. But here's the thing that we want you to understand. This will help you so much. The emotion that you feel is about the energy between you and your inner being, and it doesn't have anything to do with anybody else. But it feels like it has to do with others, because often, usually, always, when you felt negative emotion, you thought it had to do with that person. But what it was really about is you had a different opinion going on about that person than your inner being did. So the majority of your emotions, those strong, uncomfortable ones, have been about you misunderstanding what the whole thing was all about. You kept thinking it was about them when really it was about you and you. And now you know that the people of the world will not confound you so much. Do you feel that more than ever before you are more in control of your emotions?
Absolutely.
And do you find that when you meditate, it goes a long way in smoothing things out?
Yes.
Do you believe that your goal, your quest, is to be rid of emotion?
No.
Do you believe that your goal is to be rid of negative emotion?
No.
You're very wise, because you understand that it's guidance. It's like the fuel gauge on your car. You want to know. You don't want to put a happy face sticker over it. You want to know when you need to get some gas. So
I want to bring that out to everyone else too.
this is the good news. Everyone has an inner being. So everyone has that juxtaposition of inner being thought and their thought. Law of attraction is responding to everyone's inner being and to everyone. And so that emotional tension is present within everyone. So you're not bringing out vibration any more than you're teaching law of attraction, any more than anyone would be teaching gravity. But what you could teach is why you feel the way you feel and what is the emotion that's present and why. If you will let it be an emotional discussion, honor everyone in whatever emotion that they're feeling, and then you could offer your 2 cents worth, if they seem open to it, about why they feel that way. When Esther sees frustration in her grandson, what she always says is, "You've got strong wanting, kiddo. Keep it up." Because she doesn't want him to stop wanting, and she can't fix whatever bind he's gotten himself in either. But she can't acknowledge the way his inner being acknowledges that this desire is a good thing, you see. Helpful?
Yes.
So do you feel like you need permission to feel emotion? You started to answer the question yes before you knew what the question was. What was the question that you were answering yes to? What did you think we were going to ask you that you were so emphatically saying yes to?
No idea at this point.
Do you feel like you need to explain to someone why you feel emotion?
I feel like I have to have permission to have my feelings.
Here's what we want to say to you, and here's what we'd like you to be able to say to them eventually. The reason I feel this strong emotion is because I'm crossways of who I really am. And if you don't say it out loud, at least say it to yourself. At least acknowledge what it is all about. Because we haven't had this conversation here today, but it's a really nice way to end this gathering. Because we love you so much, and we notice how you are often humaning And by humaning, we mean trying to explain to each other why you're doing what you're doing, with the impossible objective of getting them to get you. So the reason that you feel all wadded up in this is because you feel the power of your emotion and you know it means something, but you've never been able to explain it to anybody else. And it's because it's your emotion about your stuff. It's not their emotion about their stuff. And every time you try to explain it, they just get all confused about what it's about. So if there is anything that we would like to leave you remembering as you are moving out into the rest of your new beginning, is don't explain nothing to nobody, because they're not going to get it. Don't try so hard to explain it to them. Don't do the humaning way. Do it the emotional way. Do it the vibrational way. You know what emotions are about. You know what vibrations are about. You know what it's about. If you can just leave this gathering knowing that you don't have to explain it to them, and even if you try, they're probably not going to get it, then think of all the stuff that you're let off the hook from. When you're after someone, let's say that you are trying to correct someone's behavior, and they're trying to explain to you why they shouldn't change their behavior because their behavior is right. This is what the inner beings are all doing. No inner being is involved in that. No inner being is involved in that. You're out there raw and ragged humaning, and no good is going to come from it, except that you're going to launch some desires. That's all. So it seems odd because we've offered so many words here today, and will any day that you'll come and listen. But it's not about words, and it's not about action. It's about focus. It's about vibration. It's about blending. It's about alignment. It's about energy. It's about all those things that most people don't want to talk about because they can't really get their thoughts around them. Don't you like being able to explain to yourself, when I feel frustration, I have a desire that's summoning more than my belief is allowing to flow through, period. Don't you like knowing that when you feel fear, that you have a desire that is summoning more energy than your belief is allowing to flow through? Don't you like knowing that when you feel satisfaction, that you have a desire and there's no resistance, and you're flowing in the direction of your desire, and all is well? Don't you like knowing that? Isn't it enough to just know that your inner being has your back, that whatever you want is underway, that the vortex has all the bugs worked out of it, that there is a path of least resistance, and that you can, if you care about feeling good, find that path of least resistance? Doesn't it feel kind of good not to have to correct anyone's behavior, explain to anyone else your behavior, even understand somebody else's behavior? You couldn't, if you spent the rest of your life, you couldn't walk in their footsteps enough to understand why they've got the vibration going that they've got going. Doesn't it feel like just the best idea ever to be present in this moment, moving in the direction that you've already set into motion with your inner being, and living happily ever after? Doesn't it feel good to you to live and let live? Doesn't it feel good to you to know that 100% of the population is doing what they came here to do? Doesn't it feel good to you to know that the contrast, some of which you would like to stop, is the very thing that's creating the future experiences? Don't you love knowing that things that people think they don't want is what is causing eternity to continue to be? Don't you like knowing that you can't get it wrong and that you're not ever going to get it done? And don't you like knowing that you've been making a big hairy deal about things that don't need to be big and hairy? Don't you like knowing that life is supposed to feel good to you, that things are always working out for you, that it's supposed to feel good, and it so often does? And don't you like knowing that your emotions mean something, that they are guidance to you, and that they are personal guidance to you, letting you know intricately in this moment what your mix of vibrations are? And doesn't it feel good to you to know that there is someone so interested in you, giving you undivided attention, not just in general, not before you got here, not about what you were going to be, but about what you're thinking about right here and now, that you have source energy focused upon what you're focused upon right here, right now, and that you are feeling a vibrational relationship comparison between what you're thinking about, what your inner being's thinking about, and what your inner being's thinking about, what you're thinking about. Don't you like knowing that? Don't you feel special? Don't you feel known? Don't you feel blessed? Don't you feel adored? Don't you feel like someone's got your back? And don't you feel like all things are possible? And doesn't it make you want to leave the peanut gallery out of it? And don't you want to appreciate the peanut gallery for the plethora of desire that's in your vortex that could not be there if it were not for the differences that you all are experiencing with each other? There is so much love for you from us in this moment. Take it easy. There is great love here for you. And for now, we are complete.
Thank you.
Now, good job. All right. Bye, guys.